So let's go ahead. Hello, everyone. It's been a while. Kept you waiting, huh? But we're here again with another podcast, and this time our guest is Rammion.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Bastian. Sorry if I pronounce anything wrong, but that's understandable. I'm not native English speaker, so that's me.
That's fine. I'm sure people will understand you just fine.
Okay.
And a note for anybody that might be wondering: Dingle's not here because presently it's like nearly 4 a.m. for him, so he's very asleep.
Uh, well.
Yeah, that's the main reason why there's no co-host this time. Like I asked about it, and he was like,
Mm.
"Yeah, no, it's kind of like super late, so
Oh
it'll
no,
have
no.
to be you this time." Seven was afraid of it because he's like, "Oh no, Baston is so sleepy all the time." But it's like, well, for most of the podcast instances, I've had to wake up at about 4:30 in the morning, like around what the time is Dingle for now.
uh,
And yeah, it was kind of a struggle. So I had to drink coffee, and it
yeah.
still didn't work out the best.
To be fair, we are in the same time zone, so it's a
Yeah,
bit easier for us.
that facilitates things quite a
uh, but hey, guys, you have to how they say take the shirt like be here for the podcast, dude. You know. Okay.
yeah, but well. So I am sure that some of the people listening know you, but why don't you introduce yourself and tell a little bit about the kind of work you do for those that don't know you?
All right. I'm Rammion. I'm an artist that I posting on that. I think for like 3 or 4 years already. I lost my streak a few times. Most of my drawings are adult content, so if you go to my gallery, you're gonna see a lot of access. Most of the time, I'm drawing either League Charters, that's a game, video game that I play. I draw some OCs, and there is a few commissions sparse writing across the gallery. I keep alternating between not safe for work and regular drawings. So if you go to the gallery, you're gonna at the instant you're gonna recognize that. Oh, okay, this guy draws characters. You know, doing that stuff, doing that stuff. So that's it basically. Post on Twitter, Pixiv, Anti-Foundry. I gave it up on DeviantArt because that's a wasteland. So yeah, that's a pretty summarization about myself.
Sounds about right. 50 pages of not safe for work material. Interesting.
Yeah, go right there.
It's really funny to notice that thing I told you about the other
Mm.
day. That if you go and check, it's really curious how you have literally about one safe for work submission per page. I was quite perplexed when I saw that. I was checking to see like, oh, can we show like literally anything for the video? And I start clicking through, and it's like counting is like, oh, here's one, here's two, here's three, and I think I don't know if I did the whole 50 pages, but
Hmm.
throughout all of the pages that I checked, there was only one that had a full not safe for work stuff.
Yeah, dude. It's that because sometimes I'm doing like a drawing, for example. I do study sometimes, but I often don't post them. So I do a study. I like the pose, and it starts as normal stuff like wholesome stuff. It's just a girl walking somewhere, and I start to look and they start to work inside of the sketch, and the things start getting a bit spicy. You start adding things that you weren't planning to add, and in the end, that's why another reason why I end up finish most of the dramas I do. I just don't like seeing sketches. Like I don't like seeing just lines in white space. So that's why I try to finish everything I do.
You really like colored stuff, right?
Yeah, I really like the coloring. Yeah, that's the reason why I made the transition from traditional art to digital, because I was really frustrated a few years ago. It must be like 5 or 6 years that I started drawing digital. I look at my drawings. I have a lot of them by my side here. Traditional drawings I have in a file case, you know. And I look at them, and I was frustrated because they don't look lively, they don't look
Uh-huh.
alive. I think that's the word.
Have you ever tried painting any of them before when you were doing craft?
I tried. I have DeviantArt, I think. Marceline Pick, I did. She's with her guitar. That was originally a pencil and paper drawing. But something that I noticed when I started doing digital art is that on paper, you are more, I feel at least, it's more forgiving, I would say, so, because you do the stuff, you do, for example, the head, for example,
Mhm.
and you can kind of fix if the chin is a bit wrong or something. And when you do digital, when you paint over that and you do shadows in another layer, you're kind of screwed, because
So you're one of those guys that uses many layers.
I would say most of my drawings have at least 20 layers, and I
Oh,
keep adding them, and one
mm.
on top of the other, and until okay, it's
Do the layers have random things, or do you keep like a very organized layer stack of like, this is base color, this is shadows, this is highlights, and that sort of stuff?
no. I'm not chaotic neutral. I would say I'm lawful neutral in this case. Since I use in Photoshop, they have a feature that you can group the layers. So I
Uh-huh.
put, for example, one layer is just for this character, and this layer is for background, and for example, I put the base colors and I create a clipping mask of the shadows and the overlays or overlight, and
Mhm.
I keep rendering on top of that. If you're gonna ask the method I use to basically all my drawings, you could summarize with the Mark Brunet method. You know that you paint in black and white the shadows and later you color, but I don't follow exactly what he does. But I find it across the years, it's easier to visualize the shadows if you do this way, that you focus on the black and white, and then in this case you can do the actual drawing, do the rendering. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too different from other people. I remember a few people on that at least that would paint that way. Like, if
Hmm.
you remember Jay, I remember
Ah,
coming
yeah.
across Jay painting several times, and he would do that sort of thing. Have like this gradient map, I think he called it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's one other thing that I do too. I use gradient map. It's funny you say Jay, because Jay, I think it's mostly Asian artist that does this. That you put a layer of black and white on top of the color drawing, and that, like,
Mhm.
I saw a lot of tutorials, and mostly Japanese artists or Chinese artists that does this way. So yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I don't know if the guy is Japanese, or I don't know, but I feel at least is the way he draws and everything reminds me of these artists.
Yeah, I remember he would study a lot of these. There were a few Japanese artists. One of them was Krenz. Could it be
Mm.
that had like this book full of figures that people like to study?
Mm. Oh, nice.
But another thing that caught my attention that you said earlier, I didn't know that a lot of your drawings were characters from League or stuff like that. I'm not really familiar with the game, so I assumed most of them were OCs.
Ah, you mean the Lizard Girl? The Lizard Girl is from League, for example. But mostly, most of them are OCs. So if you can recognize the character for, like, for instance, for a game or a movie, mostly are League characters, but others are from video games, or I don't know, commission I'm working. If you can tell that, for example, Ellie is one of the characters I draw the most, but she's like kind of a mascot of mine. Is an OC. So yeah, she's not a commission. She's like drawings I do for myself, right? But other times, yeah.
I was just about to ask you about her because when I was mentioning that you had like at least one safer work submission per page. I went to the last page, or well, the first page in chronological order, and I noticed that, funnily enough, your first drawing is a safer one, and it's of your OC Ellie. And I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you, when and how did you came up with her?
Something that I did before even posting on internet any drawings of mine. I draw for tabletop game. It's for D&D. D&D. I was the game master. I draw the characters of my players. So that's one of the things I did for training and sketching, and that's another reason why I was interested to learn digital art. And one of the characters that I draw was this NPC. This was this girl that I think at the time she was like a MacGuffin, a character MacGuffin. Like in Star Wars, there's that robot that follows then the new movies, that has the plans of the new order or something. And she was like that. She was like a character that the players have to sculpt. So she was a sorcerer. So that was my original plan. But when I started to draw her, she looked like more like a rogue or like a irregular adventurer. So I ended up when I stopped playing tabletop games altogether because of the pandemic and everything. I started to draw her just to have fun. I like the way I did her hair. It's like reminds a bit of the of dolls, like those old dolls from Englishmen. You know, uh, that's the reference basically. And since I like it, drawing characters that were tanned skin with a weird hair color, I end up just drawing her all the time, basically, when I was bored or I wanted to practice some pose and I didn't know which character I would put. So okay, she's my placeholder. I will do Ellie. And now I think I have like 80 drawings of her. I don't know. I have to check in my gallery. Basically, I have a folder with her. Like it's a folder subdivided in 20 folders. So
Oh,
there's
the
a
Ellie
lot of stuff.
folder.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I have noticed that you draw her a lot, and actually, that term you use, placeholder, I think fits her pretty well. Yeah,
Yeah.
you said she's like a doll. It's
Mhm.
interesting because I have noticed you drawing her like in many variations of clothing or in different
Uh,
situations and stuff. So she's like the placeholder to try stuff out, I suppose.
yeah, the last time I did one for the Halloween challenge, but I look at the rules and it was like, oh, okay, it's only ghosts and jackal wisps. So okay, I'm screwed. I don't have an idea. So I did the Samara drawing instead. So Sadako drawing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. The little comic that was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I like it. It's more like she I like drawing Samara because of the clothing, of course, right? And because it's a weird idea too. And also because I saw other artists doing and I like it the way they did. And I say, how I would do this character if I draw for myself. So
I have seen many people draw her. Yeah, I do
Mhm.
notice that in the Halloween drawing you did include the pumpkin, so technically does meet the requirement. Did this one start like the studies you mentioned too? Like you started drawing Ellie, and it was like, yeah, okay, sure, we'll make it Halloween. Let's add a hat. Let's add this
Uh,
thing, and then it's like, oh shit, it has to have pumpkin. Okay, let's add pumpkins in the background. Boom.
yeah, exactly. I think I actually misunderstood. Yes, because I thought when they said Jackal Wisps, it was another thing. That thing, it's because Jackal Wisps in the Pathfinder book, it was like how you say it's like a flame who's floating on the air. I thought
Oh, you
that
mean
was a
the will-o-wisps,
yeah.
the things
That's
that every mythology from every place has. It's like those shitty lights that drive you to your death in the
Yeah,
storm.
that thing. Basically that level lower that low level monster that adventurers kill for XP. So I thought it was that and not pumpkins exact. So I was
Oh,
a bit dumb. I was a bit dumb. I panicked and I did. Okay, we'll do this other drawing instead. This other tractor that I like too. So yeah.
I noticed also that not too long ago, in October 21, you made another drawing of Ellie in the Halloween outfit. Was that like coincidence, or did you make it thinking like, okay, I'm gonna use this later for the Halloween challenge?
No, not coincidence. I did that one to figure out what I would do in the what her clothes would look like. So it's like a
Mhm.
concept art. And also, if in the future, if I want to draw her again, I will just use that one as a reference. Yeah, that's not exactly a coincidence, but it was on the spur of the moment I did that one. I think it was pretty late when I finished that. Yeah, I did that in one sitting. I was trying another way of rendering too, but you can tell because well, the way I end up studying something, and if it doesn't look right for me, for example, I look and say, oh, okay, how I can unfuck this drawing, or I can fix it. So that's the thing. So it's basically another instance of I didn't study. It wasn't meant to be a complete drawing, and I ended up completing it. So yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Very neat that you did this sort of concept art thing, and now you have like a design Halloween outfit for her.
yeah. That's it.
Since you mentioned that you did a bunch of traditional drawing, why don't you tell when it was that you started drawing, what got you into drawing, and how long were you doing like all of the traditional drawing and sketches before you jumped to digital?
Well, for a long time. Let me see here. I have in my Debian the exact date. So it was like we are into you. We are right now in 2023, right? It was in 2012 or 2011. Yeah, 2011, when I was in high school, and I already draw before, but it was like shitty doodles, you know.
Mhm.
People said to me, "Oh, it was me and my brother. We both draw. Rammion knows how to draw. You know, I was that art kid, you know, and I was pretty sure. Oh, okay, I know how to draw, but it wasn't nothing like it was just do this by nothing like
Nothing formal.
yeah. So when I was walking in the high school, I found another guy, and that guy was insane. His skill level. I still have his DeviantArt account. I still follow him, and I said, "What?" And he was drawing a demon girl. I think he was doing. He was doing like everything traditional. So we are
Mhm.
in the food court, and I saw him drawing some people around him. I said, "Wow, dude, that's cool. Teach me how to draw and something." And then he gave me a book. You know those books that they sell in some libraries that how to draw manga, how to draw anatomy. You know?
Yeah, I was about to ask, was it the how to draw manga, or did he like straight up stood up and did the IC thing and looked at you, kid, here you go, you need more Loomis, and handed you
Yeah.
this book? It was like one of those two things.
Yeah, he's going to tell, oh, hey, dude, you have to draw 100 boxes every day.
Yeah.
No. It was the how to draw, and I looked to others after he pointed me out the way. Basically, get this book, read this book, and do everything that's wrote there. So I look for more stuff, and I started to learn anatomy and everything. And since he was in the last year of the high school, I only knew him for like 1 year, and
Mm.
then he's gone. And then I'm out for myself by myself. What I do, and then I keep doing traditional art until let me see, until to 2017. So yeah,
Oh,
that's when I started to do digital art.
well,
That's
you did traditional for quite a long time then.
Yeah, it was like 5 years, 5 years doing traditional, and I have a lot of drawings that I never scanned, never showed to anyone. My brother and some friends they saw, but it's like really Yeah, and I will say, most of the time I was trying to emulate other traditional artists, and I was frustrated because I
Mhm.
didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to smudge. I think smudge is when you pass your finger over the shadows to make it then soft. I don't know the name in English.
I think people just call it blending graphite with your finger.
Yeah,
The,
blending,
the
blending.
most basic stuff that people starting out with graphite usually do. I remember people at school doing that a lot.
Yeah, that guy that inspired me to pursue this to improve. The guy did this the blending with the finger, and I never learned how to do it. So I was very frustrated, and I wanted to improve the shadows and everything. To be fair, I tried, but then what I did, I started to. I was a bit shy because I was afraid that when I posted on the internet, people would mock or something. So I
Mhm.
tried on the. I went to TG, Tabletop General, and
Mhm.
I went the draw threads, some draw threads. And people like requesting draw this character. I still have some of the drawings here in my DeviantArt. Interestingly enough, like most of these were traditional. I did first the linear art and then I colored in the Photoshop. So most of them are half traditional and half digital. But the next year, this was 2018. Yeah, 2008 was. Sorry. Next year, I said to myself, okay, I have a tablet. I have to use it because I it was quite expensive. So I will use it and I will draw from the sketch to the finish line all digital. And from now on, and from 2019 on, I did
Mhm.
only digital art. So yeah,
When did you initially get the tablet?
it was like 2017, I think. Yeah, it
Oh,
was like I had for 2 years. I didn't touch it. I earned as a birthday present. So yeah,
oh, so
that
you got it as a present from someone that saw you drawing,
yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, he'll probably like this thing." Okay, I was going to
Uh,
ask if you like, saw somebody else having one or heard about them and went like, "Oh, I could try the digital thing," and you got one or something
mhm.
like that. But it was more something you were kind of guided into by someone else,
Yeah,
rather.
yeah.
Oh,
It's like my father. He bought to me one, but it's like it wasn't even a walk-on. It was like almost like I don't know the brand of the thing. I like a
could it be
trash.
Genius?
I don't know that it just to have an idea. The pen of this tablet have used
A
batteries.
battery?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know those. That's why I'm asking. It might be a Genius tablet. I actually
Yeah,
had
it's a
two
genius.
Genius
Yeah.
tablets before getting a Wacom, and they all have batteries.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing. And then the batteries that I had on this pen, I don't know, they were out, I think,
Mhm.
and the tablet wasn't working. And I sent to like 2 or 3 stars here in my city, and nobody could figure out what was the problem with the tablet. And then I figured out, oh wait, it's just the batteries. Then I fixed it, putting new batteries there. So yeah, the Genius tablets are worthless basically. And when I got my Wacom, I just love it. Don't you have to use batteries anymore? It's just digital painting, and that's it.
What kind of tablet do you use? I'm sure some people will be curious. Do you use the yes, the usual plastic square ones, or do you have a screen tablet?
Oh no, no, I use the screenless tablets. It's a
Oh,
Wacom Bamboo I use, right? No, it's not Bamboo. It's Wacom Intus. Yeah,
oh, cool. Is it
yeah.
one
It's
of the medium or the large ones?
no, it's a medium one.
Medium.
I
Oh, we probably have the same tablet then.
Yeah, yeah. These ones I found they are a bit cheaper than the version with the then you have the screen. Basically, you have an iPad on in front of you. So, and I would say it's better for your neck too. So I don't have to like look down every time I will draw. You know.
Yeah, unless you want to spend the big cash on all the, you got the tablet, and it's like, okay, now you just need to spend like half the cost of a tablet on the thing. How do you call it? The support thing, for the
Ah,
tablet,
yeah.
and then you need space on your desk too, and
Oh,
then the requirement list keeps increasing.
the things that keeps me from buying this one is not only space, but all the issues I heard people have with the, like, oh, I can't figure out why my pen every time I touch my pen, the screen it does makes a line, or the screen is like the screen of the tablet doesn't recognize the movements of pencil and everything, and yada yada yada, So
Yeah, I did see people have like some issues with the screen ones. Like the mouse pointer not being 100% right under
mhm.
your stylus and stuff. It looks like a big can of worms. That plus the color calibration stuff.
Yeah, and then I was a bit afraid because if I expend so much money, it's almost another computer you buy, at least where
Mhm.
I live, to have these issues. And in my city, nobody has, because it's a small city. I live in a province too, so nobody will know how to fix that thing if it
Right.
has a problem. So it will become a brick in my house. So yeah, it's not
Yeah,
cool.
can't relate. Here the thing is like down here they often also have like very limited selection.
Mm.
So like I think if I wanted to buy a screen tablet, the only one I can get is the giant Wacom one, and I
Ah,
essentially would have to spend like $3,000 on the thing, and I could only have it like on a desk. And since I travel a bunch, like
mm,
remember earlier that I was telling you like, hey man, I'll be traveling. I need to
mm,
check
mhm.
the schedule for stuff. Like I couldn't move that thing. And what I really like about these the screenless medium tablets is that you can just chuck them in your backpack and go wherever.
Yeah, that was pretty useful too because I was working a few years ago in real estate firm, so I
Mhm.
was like just call it a secretary, basically secretary. I worked taking orders from people and everything. So yeah, it was graphic designer and secretary basically. And I had some free time while I was working, and I had my tablet always in my backpack, so I could install. And I know like people gonna show up in the office like in 2 hours, and I stayed during my lunchtime there. So I stayed out the whole day there. I would get my tablet and my screen is on, and I still have that one, and I would draw like for 1 2 hours on the office. It was quite fun. It's quite useful too, and I end up getting used to use the screenless tablets. It was definitely weird at the first time I tried, but after some time you.
Was it very frustrating when you first started out, since you went from doing traditional to let's try to do everything fully digital?
Yeah, yeah. When we're doing traditional, you are looking at the movement of the pencil makes a line, for example, and you are looking it, you are doing it, it's happening in front of you. And when you do digital and you are using a screenless tablet, you have to like stop looking at your all hand. So that's one thing that bothers me a lot. Bothered me a lot. Now nowadays is like fine, but and have to look at the screen all the time. So you have to look at the screen and don't look after your whole hand to get used. After like I don't know 5 drawings, I like, oh, okay, that's fine. I think I can continue now. Then I would say the thing that bothered me more about the digital drawings was because when I started drawing and I draw traditional art, for example, I would take like 1 or 2 hours to do like for example a cowboy, for example, and
Mhm.
nowadays I take like 8 hours to finish digital drawing if it is too complex, like a full body character,
Mhm.
for example, or with any fancy lightings. So yeah, that's something that I had to get used to.
Right. But also you're painting, adding color, shadows, and all this stuff to the digital drawing. So
Yeah.
how How much do you think the line art and all that takes you to do in digital?
Okay, so I actually have a time here. Okay, so if a drawing is like one character, for example, it's quite quick. It's like half an hour or 1 hour. You can do a line art, but you have to do a sketch before. The sketch takes like I don't know, like most of the sketches I do, they are polished and everything. Like take also a half an hour to 10 minutes, I would say. And when you do line art on top of that, if you design assuming just one charter in not any fancy posing, and it's not a complex pose, I would say
Mhm.
like 2 hours or 1 hour and a half can do the sketch and line art. So like while traditional you would finish in 1 hour the drawing, or 1 or 2 hours, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, doing line art in traditional is probably always going to be quicker and easier, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, no, that's the main advantage doing traditional.
Yeah, it's just a headache to post online, isn't it?
Yeah, they have to. In my case, I had a printer with a scanner that I use it to
Yeah.
scan my drawings and everything. But
Uh-huh.
digital,
Yeah, I
I
haven't
would
been.
say, yeah. No, just that I would say that digital, the main benefit is that you can liquefy or adjust the line art or the proportions without using the razor. One thing that in my desk was a lot of rubber.
Yeah, all the
Y-
shavings from a race.
yeah, for my razor, so I had to, and supplies, of course, right? That supplies also you have to spend. So yeah, there's those two disadvantages, but it's quicker.
You had like your little table guy set up with your table and all the materials and all the
Mm,
shavings from the eraser from adjusting poses and stuff.
yeah, and it was so much. I had that. I had to like after a session of drawing, I had to look where I was sitting. Yeah, you can see the razor, the rubber across the desk and across the ground too, because sometimes you just pass the hand and to clean and yeah.
Ah, you could have saved all that up and get a pet hamster and put the pet hamster in a bed of eraser shaving.
Yeah, yeah.
Poor animal probably would be comfy though. But yeah, so now you're digital and you don't
hmm
have any eraser shavings anywhere. So
No.
you said that you got comfortable with doing digital stuff and using the tablet pretty quickly. A bunch of people often, complain about that, or they don't really want to get into digital because they try it out and they find this discrepancy of I am not looking at my hand while I'm drawing. The drawing is somewhere else. The translation from the hand
Mm.
motion to the screen is weird, and I don't like it. What advice would you have for people who are trying out or starting with digital and want to get good with
Mm.
it? What would you say to them?
First off, if I would try first doing, for example, something very simple, like just a face. Try to draw a face, like of a character that you like, and don't look at your whole hand. Another thing, you have to centralize your hand over the tablet. If you are using a screenless one, I assume it because that's my experience. And you have to be determined. I would say in 1 week, if you are doing like 1 to 2 hours of sketching in a tablet and really trying hard, you will be able to get used because it was so long ago that I started to draw and sketch everything in my tablet that nowadays it feels a bit weird when I do in traditional, weirdly enough, because you get used to like yes, another thing that you remind me now, optimize your shortcuts in your program of choice. In my case, I put the eraser on E. If I want to grab up the pencil, the brush, I put in W in my keyboard. So in the eyedropper tool, the you pick color basically. I put in key. So all the movement of my hand on the keyboard It's everything that I need to rotate the drawing or to exchange brushes. Everything is like in one key of distance of each other, and everything centralized around the eraser key. So that's another thing that I would give some advice about. So yeah, and don't look at your whole hand. Don't look at your whole hand. Yeah.
You're big on configuring your setup. Is
Mm.
the R key for rotate? I'm
Uh,
curious.
yeah, there's one. There's one for it's RR. It's at the side of the eraser key. And if I want to reset the view to the original view, I just use the crop key. The crop key is F for me. It's Photoshop. If you rotated your drawing and you press the crop key, the crop tool in this case, it will reset your drawing to the original view when you open it.
Hmm.
So
It resets like the zoom and the rotation, right?
yeah, it resets the rotation to 0 degree. I think that's how they say. Yeah, it's 0 degree here. So yeah, I have a key to reset the view every time I rotate the drawing, and that's another important thing that rotating the drawing constantly and even flipping the vertical axis of the drawing so you can see if your charter has a chin that it's too much to the left, so that's another thing that's useful. You have to spend a lot of time basically configuring your settings and everything to make the transition natural, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of like organizing your desk in a way that's suitable for you to work
Yeah,
comfortably,
exactly.
I suppose.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Now that you mentioned resetting the view to the drawing, do you usually zoom out when you're drawing? Like, let's say that you've been working on for a while. Do you zoom out to make the drawing tiny or something like that?
I do to when I drawing the shadows. Normally I do this, and I would say it's like when you check the values of the drawing and you are doing the shadows. I like to like zoom out for confused like let me see how much it's like 16%. That's the how zoom out that I am, and very small. It makes somewhat small. You can see some of the features. You do the shadows, the main values over there,
Mhm.
and after that you can zoom in and start to polish and stuff. Because another thing that I would give as advice to is you do a drawing like a sketch, for example. Leave it alone for 2 days, for example, or one day. Don't look at the drawing for 1 or 2 days, and then you start to see, oh, okay, the head is too big and the feet look weird.
Mhm.
How many times I made a drawing like in one sitting, and I just realized that, oh my god, the head is all wrong, and I had to come back and edit, and like and it's not a good thing when you do things in the spur of the moment sometimes. So yeah, that's another thing that I would give as advice to.
All right. So, since you said that you don't usually do stuff in one sitting, or you recommend, leaving a thing be for a couple of days, that just made me think: do you usually work on multiple things at the same time? Like, let's say you have several drawings that you're drawing on, you know, 1 hour this one, another hour on this other one, and so on.
Yes, there was. Let me see here. I have a whips folder.
Hmm.
I am working right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 drums. I'm
Oh.
currently working, but I organize myself to like Monday I will work on this one, and I will do the shadows for this one. Tuesday I will sketch this one. I will do the background for this one, and I will do the line art and the colors for that other one. So yeah, I will just give for example, attention for a whole day for a drawing if it's the final stages and I have to render it and it's a big one, like it's one for four with 4 characters, for example, that I had
Mhm.
to spend like a whole afternoon doing. the painting and the lights and everything. So yeah.
Like this one you uploaded recently, the Seven Sisters one. Do you
Seven
spend
Sisters.
like an entire day finalizing that one?
Yeah, that one took me 3 hours to finalize. The version that is posted here, no, I posted the final version too. No, the final version isn't exactly like the one that's posted, because the last version of this one, I think I have on Twitter. I can send to you in chat if you want.
Yeah, sure.
The last version of the one is with shadows and some other effects. I also blurred the background, so it
Oh,
won
so the
the
monsters are not as visible.
yeah, it doesn't detract so much attention from her then. So yeah, so even this one I think it took 2 hours to like do the final like getting right the stuff and all the effects and everything. It's a lot of things that you look and you have just to feel. Oh, okay, it's right, and I have to stop myself of trying to add more shit over it, because at
Uh-huh.
some point in this drawing I changed the color of the background like 2 or 3 times. I put a gradient map and adjusted a few things. It wasn't quick edit, and I was look like a half an hour looking at that, and oh man, it's not clicking. So
Yeah, I see that the previous version that you posted on that is the one that has the characters finished. There's the floor, the monsters, then the
mhm.
background's like a gray color.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. What I will put in the background, for example, and there's stuff missing in the final version. It has like smoke, and there's a few sparks over there. It's like dots of. I will call it sparks because I like to put some effects, particles, to make the scene more like see more cinematic if you want. But yeah, there's stuff that you look and you feel okay. I will stop messing with the drawing, because if I keep doing retouches, I will stay here for a while.
Sounds like you have a lot of fun finalizing the drawings.
Ah,
Either
yes.
fun or pain.
I don't know. The stage I like the most is the final ones, because it's when the thing then you see, the characters are alive. They look like humans. So I think that's the one that I most like, most enjoy. That, and I would say the sketches. The sketching is fun for me too, but I don't usually like to leave sketches as sketches. So yeah.
Yeah, it does look like you have a lot of fun rendering. I remember that for the past Creed streams, you had submitted some stuff and asked mostly
Mm,
about rendering and that
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I follow mostly people that, and here in that I follow some people that have impressive handling. I keep looking, like there is this guy that he does mostly studies. I keep looking at the armor and how he makes so shiny the spaceships and everything. And I keep wondering, wow, how he does this?
Mhm.
Like, I keep wondering if he wants the name is like ZZZ. His name, like he does a lot of studies with matcha and space. There's a lot of cool stuff he does.
Mhm. Speaking of that, are there any other users on that you check out or you have like present?
Yeah, I follow some. For example, there's Jay that you mentioned before. Jay is one of the guys that nowadays I see he doesn't post on that, but he's posting still on Twitter. He does adult content like me, like myself. There is Cranihun too. Cranihun, the goblin guy.
Yeah,
uh,
the Goblin Master.
yeah. I check his drawings a lot. Once I wanted to draw Vex, and I check it up first his drawings to like see how he did it. The his Vex drawing. I like seeing the Urazi and Christmas Yoshi. Then they participate in the last tier tournament, and I was really impressed by the stuff they completed. There is one drawing of Christmas Yoshi that I let me see if I have here. But it was one with the girl with a lot of vegetables and fruits. And I was looking at that and like, wow, how he has patience to do these detailed pieces. Like I can't I can't figure out how. Yeah, I would get insane if I you was that patient and with that attention to detail. You know.
Yeah, it has a load of stuff. It should be on screen right now for those watching the podcast video, but if you want to check it out, it would be the first entry from Christmas Yoshi for the last tier
Mhm.
tournament.
Yeah, that one was impressive. And the rest drawings, what I like about these drawings, it's because I don't usually draw men, handsome men, I would say. It's because most of the time I drawing like werewolves and minotaurs, and they don't have, let's say, human features, right? It's just the muscles. So I don't. When I see the Ura's drawings, I see, oh, it's handsome man. You know, like I can look at that and say, oh, okay, this boy is handsome, right? And I can't do the when I tried once I tried to once or twice to do handsome face for a man or for something like it's not it's like aged, you know, like a bit aged, but it's still attractive man, you know, and I can do this and I think I would have to try harder, you know, but most of the time I draw girls, so yeah, I have some of these drawings to as reference sometimes, so yeah. Ah, and he draws league charters. He's doing a challenge, so I'm looking at some of these drawings. Like I remember a Graves drawing he did a while ago, and the last one he did was with TF, the Twisted Fate. So yeah,
Did you? Oh, one question. Since you look at Uras's drawings, did you like the horse
the
from the
horse. What
journey?
horse?
From the
Where?
tier journey? Everyone's favorite horse.
Where? Let me see.
Yeah, hold on. Here it is.
Let me
I think
see.
it's from it's from the first tourney entry as well. Hold on, the link.
Now I'm curious. I want to see. Okay, let me see here. Okay, whoa. Okay, let me see here. It's his OC, isn't it? His OC,
Yes,
perhaps. Yeah,
that's
yeah. Oh my
Uras's OG
God. Yes. Oh
harvesting.
yeah. That's something that impresses me about these guys. You look at its early drawings, you know, and you see these ones that are completed, and you can see like it's blurred the background, and you can see some textures, and you can see the lighting, you know, and this stuff is pretty impressive. That's something that I see them doing, like a lot of talented dads we have in the on the website. So those are some stuff that I look and I say, oh dude, I have to like try to replicate something like that, you know, like we are artists, we are stealing all the time, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a good sight to see people doing good stuff, and you look at it, it's like, oh, I could do that.
I was a bit I regretted a bit don't participate in the tier tourney, but this October was quite insane for me, and I didn't know if I would be able to deliver all the entries, but the next time
Mhm.
I definitely wanted to try the tier tourney next time,
Uh,
you know.
do you, since you mentioned the Christmas Yoshi piece, did you follow the tourney much? Do you keep up with the?
I just saw the I didn't watch it while it was going. I just saw the entries when all the entries when the tournament was gone. You know, I didn't. I saw the table guys scores, and they're like, oh, okay, let me see this one, and I was looking at the catalog basically. So yeah.
Mhm.
I basically saw the end pieces. I didn't like follow it as it was happening.
Oh, I
Like
see.
uh
Yeah, you mentioned tabletop games quite a few times. Were you
mhm.
always into the tabletop games, or did you get into that shortly after like shortly before you started drawing, or how does the story go
Mm.
with that?
Yeah, I started play tabletop shortly after I started learning how to draw, and I
Hmm.
saw the character sheets for my players as a way to keep practicing drawing. So when we had an NPC or a new player or the last character of the player died, I would draw the character for them. Most of the time I would be the game master, so I would like if I wanted to put, for example, demons or something interesting that I was playing in. Heck, because normally when they're doing tabletop games for so long, you can basically put anything in the game. So like once I was playing Dark Souls and I wanted to do an adventure like Dark Souls, so I did a map with the all the not stages but places of this kingdom that was forbidden lands or something. I remember once a year back I did a map, a world map for that was one of the most interesting things that I like doing these maps, but these fantasy maps. And I posted on Critic to see what else I can put and everything. And people were pretty receptive about that world map. I end up giving as a gift to one of my friends of my table group. We printed like he has that map, a print of that map hanging on his wall nowadays. When I visit him, sometimes I see I see the displayed, the display the
Mhm.
word map I did, and it was like it's. I'm a bit proud of how they ended the result of that one, even though we did the map because we wanted as a group to come back and came back and get back to play. Yeah, get back to playing RPG because tabletop games because D&D because it was a while. It was because of the pandemic we all stopped it, and yeah, we wanted to ignite the flames, but it wasn't there. It wasn't there. Man, 10 years playing D&D, man. 10,
Nice.
10, 10 years.
Do you get into playing like D&D just because you had friends who were into tabletop, or did you, ended up going to some, how there's those, they're not
Mm,
quite
ah,
comic book shops, but the places that sell stuff related to tabletop where there's a lot
I
of
know.
people who play.
In a shop, yeah. I knew them because one of them were my neighbor.
Mm.
And they came to my house sometimes after school to play Call of Duty, Halo, those things. And he
Mhm.
introduced us to D&D. But later, like 1 year, I met some classmates that were my friends too, and we decided, oh, okay, let's do our own campaign because my neighbor he showed the game to us, and we weren't satisfied because the way he was DMing and something. And I stayed with this group for 1 year. And when we all go to the uni, everybody like split it because nobody, no, it was harder to meet and everything.
Mhm.
And I came back to, and I still had in contact my that neighbor. I suggested to them, hey, how about I DM for you guys? And this neighbor he brought his whole friends, and we all and I picked my brother. He gets some friends of his, and we made a table like 5 people, and that was the master. And we stayed like this like for 8 years playing like this, so
Oh,
with the same guys.
damn, that's
That's a
pretty
lot,
cool.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Seems like you were all pretty into it.
Yeah, yeah, and I would say they were supportive with like they helped it and everything. It wasn't a nightmare table, They were like excited to play and everything, so it made things easier. So that's one reason why it lasted as long as it lasted. But nowadays we most because now everybody has its own job and everything. We have to less time to play to act to play. And one of them isn't even in my town now. He lives in another place. So the only way we have to met is through Discord or online.
Yeah, or you have to, basically make a big appointment and start
Yeah.
gathering dates. Like, hey guys, are you free this time and this? Oh
Uh-huh.
man, getting all this a nightmare. I still
Yeah.
remember when friends would just drop by my house
Ah,
and be like,
man.
"Oh, hello, we're here to play video games," and they just come in and play video games. every
I
week,
miss.
and now it's like it's like setting up a doctor's appointment. Like,
Uh-huh.
hey guys, when are you free? And one's like, well, I don't know, this day, I have to go out with my girlfriend, and then I have to work, and oh man,
Oh
this
man.
we have to go eat with the family this other day, and it's like,
Yeah,
shit
that man,
sucks.
I don't know. It's because it's the thing. It's the things because you grew up and start coming more responsibilities and job, and you are like nowadays. I don't know if I would be able to DM like I did before because
Mhm.
when I was at the top, you mean the climax of my tabletop adventures, I would be in the at the uni after the one of the classes. I would get my not my laptop, my computer, I would type one session around everybody, and like I could do this without the books, and that's the degree that of how deep I was on D&D. I could like shit a whole class, a whole original class, or a whole archetype, or a whole new feat, just giving just getting just asking some questions of the players. So yeah, dude, I love it. I still love tabletop games, but nowadays I just the things that tabletop gave me basically are the some of the charters that I the OCs that I draw nowadays. That's it, dude. And I have the still have the homebrew. If you guys want, I can even share with you. But it's all in
Hmm.
Portuguese, so good luck with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can tell you're pretty big into. I didn't really know you played tabletop, but I imagine you really like fantasy games and stuff since most of your drawings are kind of out of fantasy game scenarios.
Yeah, werewolves, minotaurs, and wizards. So yeah, yeah, you can tell that most of them are like situations that I imagine, and before you guys think, I'm not that crazy DM that raped the adventurers with a monster or put the fetishes on there. No. I Most of my players didn't know I even draw not safe for work art. I didn't do not safe for work art of their charters too. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
most of the time I kept it that locked.
Your D&D adventures for other players are purely safe for work.
No. I know, never put sexual things in my campaigns. That what I was saying is like I never. Most of my players didn't know I even draw this stuff, this kind of
Hmm.
stuff. They
I
don't.
see.
They just yeah. Man, I kept this hidden for a long time, like 5 years, just doing for myself. I think only my brother knew that I was doing drawing. This kind of stuff. But to be fair, when I did traditional art, most of the time I was drawing, studying, and everything.
Mhm.
So when it was to tabletop, most of the time I was like, I did the charter and that's it. Only when, yeah, only when I stopped actually doing the tabletop games, stopped DMing, that I started to like, huh, what would it happen if this character ended up fighting werewolves, for example? That
What would happen if this small girl character would
Yeah,
suddenly, sadly, happen to be intercepted in the road by a group of extremely big, huge,
big
and strong
buffet,
minotaurs?
big
What would
buffet
happen?
werewolves.
It's all a scientific experiment. It's not that it's safe for work or anything. It's
No,
just
no. I'm just portraying the scene, so often we ask, for example, a minotaur. How a minotaur would clothe himself? He would walk around naked. He would use an armor. I don't know. We have to
it's all a
discover.
concept art and character development. Nothing lewd to see here.
Yeah, nothing viewed here. Nothing to see here.
Speaking of not safe for work stuff, you mentioned earlier that sometimes you take your tablet to work and draw. Where any of these drawings are on that and made while you were at work?
You see, some are actually are, but I'm very, very careful, dude. You like looking at my shoulder all the time, pay attention of like any sounds around me. I never, never, never were discovered, but I imagine like that must be the my deepest nightmare. People discovering that I draw this stuff like while I'm at work, being like. To be fair, it's on my free time, so my boss, I think he will understand. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
he would
but
be understanding, sure.
yeah, it's my lunchtime, boss. Like I have still like 40 minutes to get back to my shift. So yeah.
Speaking of work, I think somebody asked. Think you mentioned that you have a Patreon?
Oh yeah, I have a Patreon.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let me see. Oh, here, yeah. Somebody on the thread asked, how long did it take for you to be able to transition from commissions to having a consistent income via Patreon?
Mm, I started doing commissions like it was 2019. Yeah. So it was like 4 years, 5 years ago. No, 4 years ago. Yeah. I
Mhm,
opened my Patreon. I think it was like November or October of 2029. Yeah. So 2019. Sorry. Yeah, I started Patreon. I kept the Patreon for like for 1 year and a half. I don't know. Like with just like 20 patrons, small number, like it take like 1 year and a half or 2 years to really get momentum, as you say. But I would say, dude, don't care too much about numbers. So often I see people on 4chan complaining about, this guy has X number followers, dude, or X likes on its picture. Don't look at that. Just draw what you like. If you care enough to want to gather following, pick something that other people enjoy. Like I enjoy drawing werewolves, railing girls, and minotaurs getting their way with adventures, and I like drawing League of Legends and something. So those are some of the stuff that I like. Look at Cranium. Cranium draw his goblin girls, his short stack. So
Yeah, he seems very successful at that.
oh yeah, I see
he's,
people enjoy a lot of his drawings too. So yeah,
he's the number one goblin supplier.
yeah, like even myself, I get his drawings as reference to draw. For example, I have to draw a yard or short stack. I use that drawing as reference. So get something that you like to draw, something that you think other people will like to see too. Just focus on pumping content about that. Not like don't force yourself to, because if you do something like half-assed, people will notice. But like I don't care about numbers. I don't care about consistency of posting. I will post. Sometimes I will post like 8 drawings on Twitter, like in the end of the month. Sometimes I will like 2 weeks without posting nothing. Well, just accept that sometimes a drawing people won't like OCs most of the time don't have engagement, but like transit to commissions to I still do commissions. I still do a lot of commissions, and my Patreon is there to like do requests for other people. Like I don't know if you can tell, but I love drawing for other people too. So I have no problem drawing commissions or drawing like 3 sketches per month for my patrons and everything, or doing Patreon projects. So yeah, that's something that I would advise. Just do what you love, but basically, and eventually things will get momentum and people gonna notice what you are doing, basically.
Yeah, he was also asking for advice on that matter, so I think that probably covers it. Speaking of, the werewolves and minotaurs, somebody asked, why werewolves?
uh okay, that's something I was thinking. I think it's boring when you do a couple and it's like a faceless muscle guy, regular guy with a girl. And the girl has all the focus. I know people prefer the muscular guy without a face and bald, and okay, because it's easier to self-insert, right? But no, I don't know. I prefer imagining a scene and put two characters that are completely different together. That's why I like, for example, tiny goblin with a tall girl, or a girl with a minotaur, a tiny girl with a minotaur, or like most if the partner is too different. I like that's very different between the contrast between characters. That's the thing that I really like. or for example, even personalities.
Nobody brings up the lizard man, but I notice them.
Lizardman, yeah. Those are my top three: werewolves, minotaurs, and lizardman. Don't worry, guys. It will have a bar man soon because of the challenge of pigman, of the pig challenge. So
Oh
yeah.
no! Oh shit! I forgot about the pig challenge.
Oh yeah, when I saw the pig challenge, I was, I think they made that for me. Yeah.
Well, I just hope that Torture likes your entry.
Don't worry, Torture. I'm trying to keep myself safe for work. It's still a bit questionable, I would say, the drawing, but I think you will like it. You're gonna like it.
Oh, that's good. Oh, and since we circled back to Dad, I often kept like a little list of questions related to the site, and I wanted to ask some of them just in case we run out of time. But going back to this, you mentioned that you started, drawing around 2013. You did
Yeah,
a traditional, then you went to digital. How was it that you came across that, and when did you initially join the site?
I browsed for Shan a lot when I used the TG, right, the tabletop general, and I discovered the board. Basically, it's art. I think it's critique artwork. Yeah, that's the name. And I look at some less. I think LAS. I don't know. Less they're just standing. I saw some posters. Yeah. I think it was 2015 or 2016. I browsed a lot of artwork critic, and I discovered that right there. I look at the website and I wonder, hmm, well, I'm starting to get into digital drawing, and I have to look for something that would push myself to, that would force me to keep training, keep doing sketches for digital work. And I will admit that at the time when I did my first entry, I was a bit used to do the digital artwork. I was a bit used into digital at the time, but I wanted to like force myself to draw more digital to improve on digital. So that's why I joined the site, and I started to post there. Also because it was a community of artists. I wanted to talk with other artists and figure out, for example, more resources, having, for example, a place where I can post my drawings and get some advice. That stuff, and looking at other drawings too, like knowing other artists, because when you go to Twitter, you don't see, for example, you see only the ones that get recommended to you are like uber good artists, and you can't tell what you can tell, like they are improving what they are doing, and on that you can see the whips of other people, you can see other artwork, you can talk with other artists. So yeah, that's something that for the community too. So yeah, those are some of the things that made me join the site.
I see. Yeah, so you were attracted to the community aspect of sorts and sharing more with other people.
Yeah, the thing unfortunately is like how everybody's anonymous, so it's hard to like communicate with, like I want to ask more questions for this guy, but this guy will like vanish next thread. So
Yeah, they also don't post their work.
yeah, so it's
Nobody,
hard to tell. Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
wants to post.
No one to post their work though, so it's hard to tell if the guy actually draw. It could be random, could be someone from another board trolling. I don't know.
Pretty interesting that you actually initially checked out last. Did you join last when it was still up?
No, I think that when I saw, I tried
Mhm.
to create an account or something. I was a bit intimidated by the appearance of the website or how it was. I was a bit intimidated by the way it was. Like at the time, I was very afraid of malware and everything. So any
Oh,
weird website, I was like, I shit myself when I entered a website and it didn't look like a well polished website and everything. Yeah. But to be fair, dude,
so you just thought it was a scam. It's like, oh, it's just
yeah,
another scam posted to 4chan. They want to use my computer for a Chinese botnet.
Yeah, they're gonna mine crypto in my computer or something if I join this website. So yeah, that was one of the things. Because also that I don't know when I didn't was I even wasn't aware that Last Artist Standing was finished or ended. I thought it was something that was like a draw daily, that it was eternal per se, or was like a draw daily. I saw the threads, but I didn't follow them closely, you know.
Hmm, I see. And how did the rest happen? Do you come back at a later date and you didn't see it anymore, but you saw that and it was like, yeah, okay, this is close enough. Let's join.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I thought. And because of the Discord server too, I wanted to join the Discord server. So I was like, I have to have a level 3 streak. I think that's the current streak, and people were quite nice on that. So yeah, that's another thing that attracted me. So it was fine. People were respectful, and I was a bit worried that if I would join some place and people would say, "Hey, pretty shit, your drawings," and some,
You thought it was going to be all like threaded shit posters.
yeah, no, like
Shitters telling you to post your work constantly and be like, you need more Loomis, boy. You didn't just draw enough. You need to just draw
yeah.
more.
I was afraid something like that would happen, or and it would pass across my, like I would understand. I wouldn't understand because like I'm not savvy about shit posting and copy paste and everything. Like yeah, the let's say the portion culture, the culture that has around the artwork critic,
Hmm.
I'm not a software. I like a tourist. I click in catalog sometimes once a week or something. I look at the posts, see if there's some like the thread of references or something, and then I say, okay, now I will close my computer and I will watch a movie or something, or get back to drawing. I don't know what I'm feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. Different to most IC users, you actually draw.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh well. To be fair, once I saw a comment on EC users that, and one of these said complaining. One user complaining, "Hey, why this board doesn't post more often? I did this. And I created this thread, and nobody is posting stuff." And someone reply, "Oh yeah, it's because we're all drawing." So there's the two memes, right? The memes, the meme of nobody draws and nobody's posting because everybody's drawing. So it's like Schrodinger's cat or something, the cat is both alive and dead.
Yeah, definitely. Schrodinger's board. Schrodinger's
Schrodinger's
drawing board.
board,
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much. So I was also going to ask, how has your experience with the site been like? But I guess it's probably been pretty positive, going by what you said. Is there anything in particular that you learned, or any particular skill that you developed because of the site?
Handling. The way I handle nowadays is because of a tutorial someone posted on Discord. And I watched some of the. To be fair, there's the Mark Brunet video that someone posted around too, but that one it was like recommended to me by YouTube. But the actual way I handle nowadays, it's from a tutorial someone posted on Discord. I see some poses and studies, but I would say the handling is something that I learned on that. Like watching other people, how other people do, and sometimes I go into a the critic channel, and I look like so what other people point out about this drawing that I have look out on mine. Like you have to think about the balance, the pose. You have to think the shadow source, the light source, So that's another thing that I like. I would say the Discord server itself is very impactful for my studies and everything. But the website itself is good for looking at works of other people and everything. That's another thing that I enjoy.
Huh, honestly, pretty surprising to see you mentioning the server so much, since you're not one of the usual posters, but it's really good to know that somebody posted something you found helpful.
Yeah, to be fair, like it's more not safe for work art. So if I would post somewhere, it had to be not safe for work art. But I'm more a lurker. I don't know if I post something in the server, it will get annoying because I don't know. There's sometimes that I draw. I finish like 2 or 3 drawings in the same day, and it will look weird if I post everything in the Surf channel.
Oh, that's
Flooding.
fine. You can post it. That's why it's there for. I think it would be good. Probably would encourage people to
Oh
post
yeah,
more. Probably would make them wonder how the hell are you finishing so much stuff.
that's because it's like I said, dude. It's like I'm working like 10 drawings at the same time. That's another thing that I would recommend for more people to do, like working like 2, 3, 4 drawings at the same time, but don't finish any of them. Like leave them to finish like 1 week later. Like do the shadows and everything. Yeah, so I will stop to lurk so much in the server. I was more active like a year ago. I was more active, but I like the people over there, and I like to see like Secret Santa and these events that people do from time to time. So those are some fine things.
We'll be having this year's Secret Santa soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, last night I had Bear Slime ping me to remind me. It's like, yeah, don't worry. After I get the podcast thing sorted out, I'll do a post about it so people can start signing up.
Oh, so yeah, I'm quite excited for that one. That's one of the events that it's my favorite. Like the exchanging.
It's good to know. Yeah,
Artwork.
it's really fun to exchange stuff with other people. I find it really fun to compile all the stuff people list as interests they have for other people to
Mm.
draw something for
The
them.
the prompt is right. Yeah, I want this. I want my most of the time when I ask my prompt is like draw Ellie, just draw her. Yeah, and that's it.
I remember last year whenever I sent your prompt to someone, it was basically just a link to your Newgrounds gallery.
Yeah. Newgrounds I have in my collection. That's where I grab basically references when I have an artist that unfortunately he's not taking commissions, but when I asked him for a drawing, I asked it, okay, here's the gallery of the character that I want you to draw. Here's all the references, and there's like 15 drawings to draw. So yeah, for reference. So yeah, I draw here a lot.
Now that you brought up like some artists that you like, somebody in the thread asked if you have like any favorite hentai artists.
Specifically hentai. There's Futter. His name is like Futa. He draws hentai from time to time. It's a guy that you're gonna recognize. He's like Asian. He draws a lot of. He draws some Pokemon. He draws a lot of his OC. We recognize him because of the extreme perspective he puts. He likes to draw like heads in weird angles. That's why I like him. Another one that I like is Merunia. Merunia is she draws a succubus, like her OC is like a head succubus. Is a girl like. Another guy that I like is Rake. Rake, he's already famous. You will recognize his drawings. Like I say the name, and if you look a lot of not safe for work drawings, you will know who he is. There's other guys that draw to intro stuff like me, like myself. It's D-Rex and Rex, respectively. These guys have the same name. It's confusing looking for references. Yeah.
One letter difference.
Yeah, like one letter difference. D-Rex and the other is Rex, but with line between R and E. Like R and E are separated. So yeah, there's these two guys.
So like this.
Oops. Yeah,
Like
like this. Yeah, you
RF.
know the guy. You already know. I know you know.
No, I don't
I
really.
know you know. Yeah, but that's his name.
Uh-huh.
These are the 4 that I follow. But if you ask me, say for artists that I follow, it's Hungry Clicker. Hungry Clicker is pretty famous on Twitter too. His handling, I love his handling, the perspective and the looks, the for the shortening he does in some characters. There's the other that's Turtle Fish Pint, but he also does doujinshi, so it's kind of both. So I mentioned 6 artists. Go there and look for them if you want.
We'll list them out for people to check them out.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, dude. Yeah, there is the infamous Azanagi too. I just remember him. Don't look too much on Like look at his stuff with some content warning about, have to Azanagi, because Azanagi or Fatalpus.
Yeah, don't look up these people while you're at work.
Oh no, don't worry, don't worry. There's nobody here. It's just me. Right now it's just me. That's because I even pick at this hour because there's nobody. But they won't recognize. It's as an Asian photo post. What's this? It's like a dish. I don't know. And I think I mentioned rake, and I mentioned. I will put the hungry clicker separated from these guys because he's more than that. He doesn't have to draw adult content. I'm Brunia. Okay. If I remember another one, I will post here. But yeah, this is the ones that I follow the most.
Let's check so we don't forget any of Annan's questions. Oh yeah, so Annan asks, tits or ass? Very
Good
serious.
question. Uh, you're gonna really make me pick one. I think yes. A good ass can fight a nice pair of tits. Because remember, small tits doesn't matter if it has a hug ass. For example, Ellie is like that. She doesn't have hug tits, for example, but she has a small she has a hug ass instead. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
I think that is the usually accepted rule,
Yeah.
the
So
gentleman's rule.
because it would look really weird if it was hug tits but small ass. Doesn't sit right.
It's
So yeah, hug
unbalanced, not optimized.
Yeah, who guess? But dude, we have to love both. We have to love tits, ass, anything. Yeah.
Oh, some Annan says, did you know that you can spell Mario using only letters from Rammion's name? Pretty cool, huh?
Huh? What? Let me let me try. Mario? No. Wait. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Some letters, not all of them.
Wait, let me. Okay. Yeah, you are not using all letters, right? It would be like Marion if you have to use the other M's. But yeah.
I think they might be trying to suggest that you draw Mario characters.
Oh no, Nintendo, Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody suggested Bowser for me. Bowser, it would be fun to draw. Bowser and Peach. Ah, yeah, you gave me idea now. You gave me an idea now. Oh no.
Have you drawn any of those like current popular things?
Or important thing like memes like the
I guess you could call them memes. Like, you know, when a character becomes like super popular and everyone's drawing that one character.
following a trend on Twitter. I did once for when League released Briar. It was a cute vampire girl, and I look at her design. It was just the splash art with low resolution. I had to figure out most of the things that it was looking because it was leaked, right? I say, okay, I'm gonna be the first one to do lewd art about Briar, and I did it, and I don't like it end result. And so I would do it again because I didn't like the end result. But yeah, I did it this
It
once.
was rushed.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like a AAA game, you tried to rush it and it didn't work.
Yeah, because Christmas is over the corner and you have to like kill sacrifice a few interns to get this up to the stores before Christmas. I kind of rushed it. I didn't like it and I said, okay, next time I will do better. But yeah.
Did people at least recognize that, wow, he was the first one? He did it.
Oh yeah, a few people said it. Oh, I know. I knew it wouldn't take long. And yeah, how I knew I was the first one because I went to Rule 34 and I looked at the drawings and it was 5 or 6 drawings and I say, okay, I gonna do it. It's not a sketch. It will be completed, handed. Some people say, oh, I was wondering when they would start doing or something.
Was that one of those that you did in one sitting?
Yeah, it was. I did like in 4 hours, but the pose was a bit simple, I would say. I didn't like the mouth I gave to her. She has sharp teeth and everything, and I look at and now I look at the drawing right now, like it's in front of me, and I didn't like the mouth. I would probably do her more cute. Okay, so yeah.
Have you Like, do you sometimes think of redrawing a certain drawing, or would you just like to do like a new drawing of her?
No, I like to redraw. There's I mentioned it before that I have sketches, right? I finish my sketches, and sometimes I sketch so, let's say I hate it so much that I throw it in the trash bin. I abandon the sketch, and I have a separated folder for sketches I never finish it and I want to finish later, or it's a drawing of a character that I like it, like for example. Tristana, for example, from League of Legends. I did that drawing. One of her drawings was one sketch that I did once, and I rejected the sketch, and I came back a few months later to finish it. That's kind of head draw, right? That kind of head draws.
Huh. I was thinking more of something like, is there, let's say, a drawing you did 5 years ago, and you finished it, you liked it, and at the time you were like, yeah, I like this. Is there any of
Hmm.
those drawings that you look back on and it's not necessarily that you dislike it, but you think like, yeah, I could redraw this and do it again?
I actually did this with a charter that it was only traditional. It was from my campaigns. I even posted on my gallery. It's a wizard. It was this girl I did years ago, and she was just on paper. She existed only on paper, and it was a drawing when I was on high school. I looked at, and I saw, oh, there's this character that I played years ago. It was my second D&D campaign. I said I will draw her. We draw her with I will color everything and so on, and that's the result. That I do this from time to time. When I my plans were to do this to all charters that I had, like it was four. There's more there's four charters that I want to do the same things. But yeah, it takes a bit, but it's quite fulfilling when I finish. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I was asking since you have been drawing for quite a long time and you've come a long way. And I've had like, remember that there was this challenge on the site, the one about taking one of, I think it was specifically one of your dad posts, but it was this challenge to redo something you posted before.
We gave an idea. I could head draw the first that post I did. It was Ellie sitting with a yeah that drawing, the first drawing I did. I could head draw that because it's Ellie. I There's some things I don't like about the drawing anymore. So yeah, I could do this. I could I could head draw her. Yeah.
Yeah, we could perhaps hold another one of those redrawing challenges. I don't know if everyone specifically did like their first dad post. In my case, I did,
Mhm.
but yeah, there. I think those challenges are pretty fun, mostly just to see how you handle an idea that you had in the past. Like perhaps it's not that the whole thing is bad. That's why I ask you. Like there might be a drawing that you look back on and it's like, yeah, this is fine. I still like it and everything. But you think like, huh, what if I redrew this now?
Ah, yeah, I get it.
Kind of like compare versions between yourself. I think it's a pretty fun idea to execute.
Yeah, so something another thing that I like to do is like character when you post your OC and you draw them for other people, that we don't have more challenge like that, but I like it to do.
The like OC exchange things. I think
Yeah,
now we call them art trades, right?
that one of like the guy posted his OC and the next one has to draw them stuff,
Hmm.
So
I think
those
there
are
there was one challenge like that once, right?
yeah, a few years back, I think I did once of this. But yeah, my since my life is like, I'm quite like busy lately. I had to skip some of the challenges. I like subscribe to a challenge just to say, "Oh man, I have one day to do this." The Halloween one, I had to went out of my way to organize myself to finish the drawing. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm looking at my drawings here. I will post later. I can send to you this mage that I did a few years ago. But I'm looking at my campaign the character sheets I did years ago. So man, there's even like it's so old that the paper is yellow and
Yeah,
yeah,
I have
it's
quite
quite
a
old.
few of those.
Yeah, it's quite old.
Is it printer paper by any chance?
Yeah, it's printer paper. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
not anything
that one
else.
does tend to get yellow with time. I have quite a few like sketches and drawings from when I was 14 or so that
Uh-huh.
are in this paper that by now is like yellower than the sun.
Yeah, I look at some of them had clips. You know the what's the
Which
name?
are the paper clips that
Paper
sometimes you
clips.
rust and they stain the paper. That's a
Yeah, that's what
shame.
I'm looking right now, and
Oh,
I look like some of the paper clips have rusted. So I don't
oh
know
no.
how many years have been that I didn't basically see the. Oh man, there's some characters here that I didn't even remember, and I played for a few weeks, no years, even years if then. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, look here, I found it. This is probably the challenge you were thinking about.
Let me see.
Character swap challenge.
Yeah, that one. When was this one? October. Yeah, this was in the beginning of the month. No, no, it's 3 years ago. Yeah, but this one I found quite funny.
Yeah,
Quite
it's
quite funny. Quite.
very old. I think there hasn't been any other ones like this recently.
We have to organize another one. I like it to do this one. And of course, I wanted more Ellie drawings. I have a collection of people that draw Ellie before, so that's you can say I have a bias in wanting to get this challenge back. You know, so
Well, you could create it. You could create it right now, even.
oh yeah, good idea. I might create one later this week after I will figure out only the what the emblem was basically. But one thing that I'm a bit afraid of doing challenges is that, for example, I do the challenge in like two people join or something, you know. So that's one thing that I don't know. I want to ask people first to see if they are interested to
Oh
before I.
well, you could always post in the server and tell people about it. Just go to the events challenge and be like, "Hey, people, do you want to do this thing?" I'm sure most people would like to sign up. This character swap one seems to have been pretty popular. Like all of the there's been 4 of them. It looks like, and all of them had quite a few people participate.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I see this way. Yeah, I see there's a lot of entries in this one. And this was the last one. They never did again. They never
Yeah,
did
last one
another.
was in 2020. Seems
Oh man.
like.
We have to fix that. In this case, I not find it. Once I find the character sheet, I will send here so you can compare. But there's another case of a drawing that I did, and I look at in the future, and I was like, man, this drawing sucks. You know. Sometimes you look at a drawing that you say, dude, this one is pretty good. I think I could hang in my wall or something. And you look back at this drawing like, fuck me, what is this?
Yeah, what I get sometimes, rather frequently, I when I go and look through my old stuff, but I feel like I should do enough because it's pretty fun. But every so often I grab one of the old folders full of this old printer paper. Some of it's getting yellow and whatever, and I have tons of these like little sketches for characters, and sometimes kind of sad and disappointing in a way because I'm going through them. I pick one up. It's like, hey, I like this. This is actually not too bad. Why did I think this was absolute shit at the time? I have that happen to me very frequently.
The worst thing I would say is when you look at a old drawing of yours and you look at the a drawing that you finished like yesterday. You say, "What the fuck? Why this drawing is better than the one I did
Yeah,
like years ago?"
yeah, it happens. You look at the old thing. It's like, what
uh,
happened to me?
what happened
Where
to
did
me?
I go wrong?
How much I fell. Like this kind of sentiment, but
Yeah.
I
Oh, did
think.
you check the challenge? That one that started recently about going into your old folder of references and drawing something from there.
Ah, yes. If you ask me for my folder of reference, I wasn't so interested in this one because I thought it was like for studying. It wasn't something. It was something for like you pick a reference and you study that reference. Is that it? Is that event that you are
Yeah.
mentioning?
Yes, but like the thing is, you're supposed to go into your old folder. You know that you've probably been saving references for years, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you probably saved something, let's say 8 years ago, that you were like, oh man, this is so cool. I would really like to draw this, but perhaps you
Ah,
time
I
because
have.
you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can draw this. So the goal of this challenge is to go back into your old folder and grab one of those things and draw it now.
I know. Yeah, I think I saw it and I'm not so interested in that because I already have a folder with drawings that I have to no poses that I have to finish, and I have this folder and it's each day it gets bigger and bigger because
No, no.
I keep finding poses and stuff that and ideas that I think that it would be fun. I do this one and do this I keep finding the stuff and not deleting the ones that I finish.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like a lack of self control,
The eternal gathering of references. Yeah. Pinterest is
Yeah.
a curse.
Oh
Same
yeah.
for the reference threads. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I really like saving the references and all, but at the same time, it's like, man, fuck me! I just added 50 pictures to this folder, and
Yeah.
I have drawn like two at best. But
Oh
I
man.
can't control myself. They're just too good.
Dude, the references are appealing up so much that I have like 5 gigabytes, I think. Just images. I don't know. Let me see here. Last time I saw my gallery was like okay, it's scary, but it's a few gigabytes of size of only images I have in my folder, in reference folders. The worst part, I don't look at all of them. Like yeah, it's like 10 gigabytes, something like that.
Oof, yeah, that's quite a lot. Do you have
Yeah.
them? Do you have them all like cataloged in
Yes.
categories and stuff? Like, do you have subfolders in your reference folder for stuff?
I have on the ones that I visit the most. For example, I have one for beach, for example, a beach scene, and I have ones with the specifically for like palm trees or for bikinis or beach houses.
Mhm.
These kind of references I have, and I have folders for artists too, for like the ones I mentioned before, or for the ones that I just discovered. So yeah, I catalog everything and I think it was like I started mine 10 years ago too, so it's quite old. I have even external drive just to not lose if
I'll have to start buying hard drives just to keep up with the amount of references.
yeah, the hard drive. Yeah, I have one, and it's because I'm afraid of someday I don't know what happens that I lose everything in my computer. I still have the at least not only my drawings, yeah, but the references that I amassed. There's some that I think it's impossible to find nowadays.
Yeah, you have to take care of your Fs. You never know when you're finally going to get to draw them all.
Yeah, I feeling I almost finding. I look at my character sheets and there's so many drawings here, man. It's because I draw them in the center of the page, and because of that, and the people would, and my players would like write their statistics and everything around the drawings. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. My God, because I think I will have to wash my hands later. Oh my God.
Is it all this? Is the paper full of dust and that sort of thing?
Yeah, yellow paper and the rusted paper clips
No.
because most of these were together because of rusted paper clips or something. Here.
Yeah, it all gathers dust quite a lot whenever I go through old stuff, except for the stuff that's in folders. But some of the things I go through, and it's like feels like I need to take a shower.
Oh my god. Let me see. Almost
You
there.
should you should buy those those folders for loose paper that they're like a plastic rectangle
Ah,
that's
I have one.
sewn up
I
to
have
end.
one of those here with me. It's I'm looking at one of them.
Oh, cool. Yeah, those are helpful to prevent a lot of dust from getting between the papers.
Yes, because as I said, sometimes I use it to get this. I don't know the name in English, but it's like field cases. I would say I get them with a lot of paper with the character sheets and maps and something that I and everything that I draw, and I would carry around at school or something that when I needed to show to my players or show to other people, oh, look at this. This is the character that I draw, or something like this. I remember one teacher that he looked at at this drawing that I'm trying to find, and I'm not finding. But he looked at this drawing and asked me, "Hey, you know this? I think it's the walkers of the Game of Thrones. You know
Mhm.
those zombies on Game of
Yeah.
Thrones." And I never watched Game of Thrones. I never read Game of Thrones at that point. And I was like, "Oh no, teacher, no!" And he's like, "Oh, damn!" And he ignored me all the rest of the year.
Oh,
So we didn't
he
exchange not.
was
But
disappointed.
it was he was disappointed. But I was drawing like a anime lady, anime wizard. You know, this girl that I showed to you.
Mhm.
There's some dramas here that were before my transition to digital. So I think I will send to you here in the channel some of the
Yeah, it'd be
traditional
great
ones.
if you could send me some of them to put up on the video later.
Yeah, I have some already scanned. So let me see here.
I think people will be pretty surprised to hear you did so much trad since you never posted anything on that on paper.
Yeah, when I started posting on that, I already was doing digital only. Let me see here. So there's this witch. I like this witch. There's this dragon. Has the dragon of her.
Looks great. Yeah. I like how you can see that it's very characteristically drawn by you, even though it's on paper and pencil.
Uh-huh. Yeah, on pencil. I feel that when I draw on pencil back then, my drawings were like the eyes were smaller, were pushing more to realistic. You know,
Mhm.
it's still anime, but it's more realistic. You know, when I started to do digital, I started like draw the eyes a bit bigger, doing the when here I'm using only pencil, right? So there's only grayscale, but the drawings get more colorful when I started to do digital. I think I never draw Ellie traditional. Yeah, no, it was digital when I draw her. Yeah, I found some others that I found funny and I will send here later, but yes, there is a lot of stuff that I'm looking at right now, and I can't find I can't find the others. There's others sketches that they were traditional, but I put some effect on top of it or put something on Photoshop that made them different.
Oh yeah, you can tell that these ones are traditional or in Photoshop.
Yeah, like these ones were cool. But something that I noticed with these drawings now that I am looking uh, a few years back, right? Looking right now, some of these drawings, for example, I think the heads are a bit too small. The faces are a bit too flat, I would say. I didn't when I started sketching. You know, you don't notice this because you don't have to a way to flip the axis of the drawing. You know,
Well, you can turn the page around and put it up to the light. That's the
Yeah.
old trick we always use.
Yeah, that you can do that, but if you are lazy like myself, for example, Yeah, these are some of the drawings. Some of these characters I actually had drawn then when I started doing digital, but I couldn't find this one, the of the mage. It was so awful that I think I hide somewhere or trash it. I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't an NPC. It was an ice mage. So yeah,
Was that one of your first digital ones? The one that you hid?
the one that I hid.
Yeah.
No, I have. I will show you one of my first digital drawings. I have here still. And I used the Genius tablet when I did that. Let me see where it is.
Oh boy. You have everything quite organized. If you ask me for my first digital drawing, I would need to basically go into a closet and start mining out stuff.
Yeah, you have to really scavenge the things
Oh hey, these
here.
ones are pretty good.
Eh, if I see the face right now, I say, oh, this face is too long, for example. And this face, the face of this blonde girl here, I look now and I can see already the traditional mark I had. That it was the eyes were smaller, they were more.
Yeah,
I won't
they're
say
less
flat.
exaggerated features.
Yeah, it's not so like. I think nowadays I got a bit influenced by people like Merunia, for example, that I look a lot. There's another one that I can post is Bushy Pixie. There's another artist, very good. Another very good artist.
Yeah, what I find pretty intriguing is that your line art is quite good for being the first stuff you did on digital.
Yeah, no, it must be because I learned how to rotate the drawing. So when rotate, you don't have to adjust your wrist to the motion. I think I feel most people that have that line art that is like it's I don't know the name of.
I mean the scratchy line art, the
Yeah,
chicken
Scrank.
scratch.
Yeah. That's Scrank line art. Most people don't rotate their tab. They don't rotate their tablets. Not the rotate the drawing. I just adjust the rotation of the drawing on the screen for when you do the motion with your hand. You don't have to move too much.
Mhm.
Dude, I almost out of time. I have to go
I
out.
was going to tell you about that. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just looking at the clock. So yeah, it's fine if you are all right with it. We can just wrap it up.
No, okay, that's fine. I send some of the ones that I look in. This one is a combination of traditional art with it's a traditional drawing, but I
Mhm.
painted over it. So it's
I was going to ask that. Yeah, if you can tell it's one of the trad ones because of the line art.
yeah, but I will say one of the guys who were looking at this drawing on the tabletop asked, where the pose? Why is she doing that? And I agree. I don't know why she's doing this pose. I think I wanted to emulate like a guts pose, but
She's
it went.
kind of drunk.
Yeah, it went wrong. You can feel the like let's say the weight of the sword. You can
Yeah,
feel, sad.
she thought that sword was a lot lighter.
Yeah. Like she's so powerful. Even the grip of the hand. Look how.
I guess this is why they end up with the werewolves. They like I can handle this sword. I can tame this doggy, and it didn't work out.
I love that drawing. But yeah, those are some. There's even this one. This is a JoJo reference. This one is also
Cool.
a traditional drawing that was turned into a. Yeah, it was from a few years ago, and it was a traditional drawing turned into a digital one. I
Hmm,
just colored.
that's pretty good. Nice.
Yeah, I like it to I like to edit my drawings. Do some edits. Put some vibrant colors. I like to doing this. But yeah, the
Yeah.
the
Oh
way I
wait,
handle nowadays.
before we go, one last question. Since you mentioned color, I was going to ask you before. Have you ever done any traditional painting?
Each time I did the traditional painting, it ended horribly. I think it
Oh,
was my weak spot, traditional painting.
huh.
It was really awful. I don't know how you guys on that, other people on that, can make traditional drawings with watercolors, for example, or. I can't. That's another reason why I went to digital art, because with a program, I don't have to have to figure out how to fix a mistake I did on traditional paper.
Yeah.
They- if, for example, I color this girl here, the girl with this sword, I
Mhm.
color her, and I don't like how the armor went, and I want to turn the armor red, for example. But no, you can't do this because it returns.
Well, if you were doing that with acrylics, I mean, you could. You just have to paint all the armor all over again.
Yeah, and look, what I would have to, for example, I could have the chance, let's say I try to change the color of the armor. There's the tiny chance that if I do it wrong, I will mess the drawing in a form that it's irreparable, and I might even create a hole in the paper if I using the wrong paper. So
Yeah, there's other considerations that you need to have in mind when you're doing traditional. But yeah, I wanted to ask because I found it pretty intriguing since you mentioned from the start that one of the reasons why you wanted to work digitally was to add color, and add a finish and all of this stuff to the drawing. And it kind of makes it sound like, this guy really likes color. I imagine he probably likes painting quite a lot. He might have painted in the past. It's like, nope, frankly, no.
Nope. I didn't paint it. It sucks, but yeah, dude, that's something that I will never, 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 never put my hand on into. Like just art projects when I was on third grade. I don't know. That's when I painted. I focused solely on pencil and paper.
You gotta keep to the dry medium. Okay, I don't want to hold you any longer, so you can make it to your appointment. So
Yeah, that's fine.
let's be closing out things. So, any final words?
Thanks for having me. It was quite fun to participate and talk with you, Bastian. Yeah, I like the DADcasts. So you guys should do this more often. So because
Yeah,
you
we do
definitely.
need to record more podcasts. You're right on that.
I know it's you have to separate a time of your schedule for this. I understand. So it's like I thank you for taking your time to organize the things, and for Seben that surely he will edit this footage. So yeah, I
Yeah,
thank you
you'll
both.
be taking care of the audio.
Yeah, I thank you both about this, and yeah, I think that's it. I like my time here.
Great, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it and found it fun. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I hope you've had fun with the podcast, and we'll be seeing you next time, hopefully with Dingle and with whoever's up next. Perhaps Slav. I don't know. Slav has expressed interest in being in the podcast, but we'll see. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening.